You know, it's never easy to accept corrections or be disciplined for one's mistakes, nor is it easy to correct or discipline those that we love, for fear that they should feel as though they were not being loved by us. But God shows us in today's readings that He is not afraid to correct those that He loves. In fact, He reprimands His people precisely because He loves them. God corrects His people because He knows that they ought to reach a higher capacity for their own good. So in today's first reading from the prophet Amos, God admonishes His people for their sins. He only does this because He knows that they have fallen short of the potential that He has given them. As God said to the people, "You alone of all the families of earth have I acknowledged." That is, these people were held to a high standard precisely because they have been given the privilege to witness the workings of God that others have not seen. And hence, they were expected to respond to a high level of trust in God. And in a similar admonishment was given by Jesus towards His disciples in today's gospel. The disciples were overly frightened when a storm broke out and the waves were breaking over the boat that they were in, despite the fact that Jesus was with them. So Jesus reproves them by calling them men of little faith. Like in the first reading, Jesus criticizes His disciples for their lack of faith because He knows that they ought to have had greater confidence in Him. After all, by the time of this event, they have already witnessed some of His healing as He was traveling around. And hence, by the unique experiences of Jesus, the disciples were, like the Israelites in today's first reading, in a more privileged position to see the works of God, and therefore should have responded with greater strength in their dilemma. Now, as we celebrate today the first Martyrs of Rome, we see how that strength and dilemma, that strength during times of dilemma is played out in the martyrs with those who have great faith. These were the martyrs who were executed by the Emperor Nero, having been blamed for the fire in Rome in the 1st century AD. And so some of them were used as torches for banquets, some of them were crucified, and some of them were fed to the beasts. But they all stood firm in their faith. And so, like them and like all the other Christians, we too have been given the gift of new life with God through our baptism. And hence, we are also held to a higher standard as well because of what we have received. So we pray that we may be open to be led by God to the potential that He has given us, whatever road that He has called us on during this life.